All right, guys, we are going to Denali National Park, me and Melanie, and today you are passing Walmike's. Walmike's is in Trapper Creek, and we're about, 100 miles above Anchorage. Now, 5 or 6 years ago, I almost bought some property in Trapper Creek, but I ended up buying property in Lake Clark. We get a phone call on Melanie's phone. But I'll tell you about Walmike's here in a minute. All right, so I apologize about that. Georgia called and Uncle Hamp called. But so Walmike's got sued by Walmart, but it was so closely named to Walmart, and Walmart lost because it's up here in the middle of Alaska and nobody cares. But what we're doing today is heading up to Denali National Park, and because the old coronavirus has got everybody on lockdown, they've opened it up where you can drive your personal vehicle to Denali. So that you can't do that. They won't allow it. If you want to go into Denali, you got to go on the big green bus tour. The only people that can drive their personal vehicles into Denali is someone who owns property in the park. And you can own property. There's some private parts that people do own. Melanie and I own some land in a national park. It's called Lake Clark National Park. But you got to fly into it. You can't drive to it. So as we get through the park, we'll take some shots and show them to you. All right, we just got to Denali, and it's raining. So it's beautiful and sunshiny in Wasilla, and of course we get here and it's pouring down rain. But we're forging ahead because rain cannot damper our adventure. This is one of the most beautiful places you could imagine, other than the road work. All right, so we're here in Denali. We're on the Denali Road going into the national park. We're going to drive up here 30 miles, turn around and come back for 30 miles. Said it's raining, but we don't care. We've seen some moose on the way in. One had some little baby moose, so if we get any animals like that, we'll stop and try to get some video of it. But this is where we stayed, what, 4 years ago, 5 years ago? Three. We came up here and did the RV trip and stayed in this campground right over here, and then we took the green bus up into Denali. They don't have the green bus tours going, and that's why we get to drive up in here. But we'll drive up here and see what it's like. With it raining like this and the clouds up in the mountain, it reminds me of when we were teenagers. Me and Ray, Jason and Micah used to every summer try to go whitewater rafting, and we'd go up to the Coe, and it was just like this every time we went. I don't think we ever went when it was not raining. That's pretty. All right, we're off the paved road. We are heading into Denali. This is a bucket list for a lot of people, but Melanie and I just kind of do it for fun. So the last time we were here, we stopped at this location, came out and just to gaze, and there were so many people you couldn't even make it to this end right here to look at the river. And so we stood around and waited for 20 minutes just to walk over here and look at this stupid river. And today there's no one. We're here by ourselves. Now that'd be a neat place to have a cabin, wouldn't it? Looks like a tiny home. There's Melanie in my little Toyota. Dad gave that car to Georgia. When Georgia abandoned me, moved back to Alabama, I bought her a car and I kept this thing. It's got 200,000 miles on it and just keeps running. All right, well, we're heading back out to the park now, and it's June 3rd. Nobody's here. See, we're just driving. I mean, we've passed maybe 5 cars all day long, and usually it would be so crowded that you could only get into the park. This is kind of freaky, but enjoyable. It's nice, I promise you that. So we're heading back, and when we got about 60 miles from Denali, of course it quit raining, and still a little cloudy, but no rain. Denali's so big that they say that it has its own weather system around it, and it rains a lot. Alaska has 12 different rainforests. I don't know if Denali is considered one of them, but down east they get a lot of them, south they get a lot of rain. Anyway, we're heading back. Alright, well, we are wrapping up our day here. We've been on the road or in the car for 9.5 hours, and went to Denali, up into Denali, riding around up there on the dirt roads, which was awful nice. So now it's time to go in and cook us some dinner and go to bed and do it all again tomorrow.